are you? If you cannot answer that question without telling me your roles and what you do, then this video is for you. If you've clicked on this video, you're likely stretched thin between managing all of the different responsibilities that you hold. You're probably feeling the weight or the pressure of societal expectations and social media standards, girl, and you are struggling with keeping up with a sense of individuality and finding time for yourself amongst your busy schedule. If that resonates with you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know because I've been there. Despite doing everything right, I was still feeling unfulfilled. When I was at work, I felt guilty about not being with my family, but when I was with my family, I was worried about work. And even though I was surrounded by so many people, I felt lonely and I felt misunderstood because I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a wife. I want to have a career. I did not want to be in a position where I needed to choose between these things. It was like I was playing a part, and in order to do so, the real me had to be hidden away. And it took some time, but I got back to myself. And using the very tips that I'm about to lay out for you in this video, I was able to find a balance that worked for me. If you've never come across me or my channel, hey sis, my name is Yanique, and this year we are focused on the year of you, a journey towards your truest self, dreams, and purpose. We're calling it a personal renaissance, if you will. So if you're interested in content that helps you become the best version of yourself, consider subscribing. And if you're looking for a smaller, intimate community, go ahead and click the link down in my description box to join the broadcast channel that's over on Instagram. Now for context about me, I did not grow up with Pinterest boards of my dream wedding or even desires to really have my own family. I blame my younger brother's child because that was enough to tell me I ain't want it. But then I ended up getting married and starting a family at the same point that I was graduating college. So while my classmates were excited about starting fellowships or moving for a job opportunity or even backpacking across Europe, child, I was packing a hospital diaper bag and trying to figure out how I was going to balance being a new wife and a new mom at the same time. I grew up career focused, so at that point in my life where it was time for me to switch to a family focus, I didn't know what that version of me looked like, and so I lost myself in it. My identity became the support person, supporting my husband while he started his career and he launched businesses, supporting my family by trying to be the Pinterest mom of the year. I was so busy trying to meet these unrealistic expectations that I lost touch with the things about me that made me me. But here's the thing, I realized that I was missing a very crucial part, and that was just carving time out for myself. It's the reason I focused so much over the last 3 months of this channel on creating content about reclaiming your time, getting in control of your schedule, because once you can get in control of your time, you can make space and time for self-care, for me time. And that is the first step that you have to do in order to rediscover who you are outside of all of the roles that you play. You need intentional me time, but do not get caught up in what social media portrays as self-care time, especially if you're consuming content from a creator whose primary and main responsibility is themselves. You are not going to have the same 8-9 hours that she may have dedicated to herself every single day, especially if you're a mom or a caretaker in some aspect. But don't use that as a cop-out to say, well, she got time, I don't. She don't understand because she's not a mom. She's not a wife. She don't do this, X, Y, and Z. That kind of mindset is not going to get you to rediscovering yourself or feeling fulfilled and content in your life. It's not about the quantity of time, it's about what you choose to do with the time that you have. So instead of focusing on the have and have nots, I want you to pick 3 things that you're going to do with your intentional self-care time: a physical activity, 1 for your mental health, and 1 for your soul. Now, I'm going to put some examples up on the screen for you, but don't think that you have to do the same activity in each area every single day. You just need to make sure that you're doing something in each area every single day. For instance, the physical activity aspect does not have to include weights and or a gym, okay? Girl, have you tried mopping? Mopping floors is exercise. It is a physical activity. The same thing goes for your mental health. Have you tried to declutter a closet or a room or the junk drawer? There is nothing more freeing. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing more freeing, but decluttering is such a freeing activity once you are done with it, that counts as doing something for your mental health. Reclaiming your space and having a clutter-free environment counts as doing something for your mental health. Now, if you're feeling a little bit lost in this and wondering how to make each area more about you and not about the roles that you play, then the secret might lie in your personal goals. And I'm not talking about the usual family or career related goals. I am talking about the ones that are for you by you. FUBU to the end. Just think about it. When is the last time that you have set a goal that's purely about you, not becoming a better mom, a better wife, or a better employee, simply just to make you happier and more fulfilled in your life? Here's some goals that might spark some inspiration for you, but I want you to think, what is going to make me excited to start my day? Start there, use the list for inspiration, and then you can go back and carve out the things that you are going to do, the activities that tie into these personal goals for each area of your self-care time. Engaging in these activities that tie back into your personal goals is what's going to allow you to explore the different aspects of you unrelated to any of your roles or titles. It's going to help you find out what you like, what you dislike, your talents, your passions, what sparks joy for you. And this is just going to contribute to a stronger sense of self, you as an individual, not what you do or who you are for other people. Making decisions based on your own interests and then following through on them is one of the most empowering things that you can experience as an individual. It allows you to take control of your life and make decisions that are the best choices for you, not for your family, not for your career. And if that statement triggers something within you that makes it sound harsh or selfish, I need you to know you do not have to sacrifice your entire self in order to be a good wife, a good mom, a good daughter, a good sister, a good friend, a good businesswoman, or a good employee. I had to start saying no to things that sounded good for my family, that sounded like it would be nice to add to my job or for my career. Because the reality is I just did not have the capacity to add anything else to my plate without sacrificing time for myself. You don't have to volunteer for every single school event or work project. You don't even have to put your kids in every activity under the sun because you think they might be missing out on something or keeping up with the Joneses. You don't have to always be accessible or available for your family, for your friends, or for work. Ask yourself, what limits do you need for your well-being, and then set those boundaries. Is it a clear boundary between work and home life? Is it becoming comfortable with saying no to additional responsibilities or engagements that don't align with your priorities or requiring you to overextend yourself in terms of time, energy, or your money? Is it acknowledging that I need help and then asking and accepting the help from your partner or your family or your friends, or even hiring professional services? Listen, I know how easy it is to lose yourself into the demands of mom life. We glorify the overwhelmed, extremely tired mom who did it all for her kids and gave every ounce of what she had in the tank. We've seen that expectation growing up in movies and shows, and I'm telling you, that does not have to be your truth. Your identity is not tied to you physically cooking all of the meals and doing all of the cleaning in the house and doing the washing and the folding of laundry and being the chauffeur to get everybody to their different activities. You can accept help. Delegate tasks where you can. Be honest with your partner about where you need help. Hire housekeeping or a meal prep service, HelloFresh. We've seen all of the advertisements, or even a laundry service if you're able to. Teach your kids how to handle certain chores on their level, because you can set up a functional household that doesn't require you to be the sacrificial lamb and allows you the space and the time to dedicate to yourself. My cultural and religious background taught me that a good woman was someone who physically did all of the things for her family. She carried them people up on her back. Okay. And after trying to be that woman and experiencing the exhaustion and the unfulfillment and anxiety that came with that, I had to unlearn those beliefs. Thank God for therapy. I have learned through therapy that when I'm confronting these belief systems or ideologies, to ask myself why 5 times, and that usually helps me understand the root belief or the underlying motivation. And most times it's steeped in some sort of insecurity or an untruth that I have learned or identified to be my own. So, for example, one of the beliefs that I held was that I needed to be always available for my family, including my extended family, and for work. So, the first question would be, why do you feel like you always have to be available for your family, friends, including your extended family, and for work? To which I would have answered, because I feel like I would be failing at my responsibilities if I am not available. Then I'd follow up with, well, why do you feel like you're failing at your responsibilities if you're not always available? To which I would answer, because I think a good woman should always be there to support her family, extended family, friends, and always be responsive for work. So the next question would be, why do you think being a good woman means constantly being available? To which I would have answered, because that is what I saw growing up. And so I externalized it. So I internalized it to being the standard. And then also, because there were certain things that I wished my mom would have done, I'm adding that to the standard too. So now I'm not just trying to meet the standard of these expectations, I'm trying to exceed it. Oh, Lord, help her. So then the next question would be, why have you internalized these standards from society or from your family? Which I would say, because I want to be accepted by my family and my colleagues, and I fear criticism or judgments if I don't meet those expectations, right? It's that idea of like, I'm okay with living at a certain level of mess until my Jamaican parents are coming over, and then I'm running around trying to make sure that all of the house is perfect before they walk in the door. Yeah, that. So then the fifth question would be, well, why is your fear of judgment or criticism driving your need to be constantly available? To which I would have answered, because deep down, I might be insecure with my worth or my value outside of my roles and my title. And so I'm seeking validation through fulfilling these expectations to an extreme extent. Now, your underlying belief might be different than mine, but through my example, you see how I was able to start with an abstract idea or belief system and get down to the root issue that was steeped in the insecurity around my worth and my value outside of the things that I can do and the way that I show up for people in my life. Having this type of insight around those base beliefs is what is going to help you get down to that root issue so that you can work on that, like I did with my self-esteem issues, with being able to redefine and set up boundaries, understanding that our worth as women is not solely defined by how we perform as wives, as moms, or in our professions, because I believe that we were fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image, equal in his eyes. And if I believe God's word to be true, the same word that says that his works are wonderful and I am his handiwork, created to do good works, then that is my identity. You need to get up in your word, sis. Get in your Bible, sis. Get into deeper relationship with your creator. And if that is a topic that you want me to dive deeper into on how I became to have a closer relationship with God, let me know and we can dive into it. But in the meantime, you need to go and take back control of your schedule. Go and figure out how you can carve out time for your self-care, and I will see you back here next week. Welcome to the reset.